are relevant to the workplace, where our primary function is to help you advance in your career. The next slide just shows a few images from the Uptown campus of SoPA, which is actually Uptown campus of Tulane University, which is actually where we're based. So a lot of our instruction is online, but we also offer classes in person at the Uptown campus, and then in Elmwood, which is in Jefferson Parish, outside of New Orleans. This is just an example of what a SoPA diploma looks like. So I think the tagline is great. You know, these are Tulane programs, Tulane faculty, and the degree you earn is from Tulane University. So in the presentation, like I said, we're going to talk quickly through programs and faculty, what it's like to be a student in our school, and many of the ways in which we support students. And then move on to talking more about tuition, financial aid, and the admissions process. The faculty in the school is a mix of full-time and part-time faculty. So we have about 40 full-time faculty. Most of them actually come from industry. They their career is focused at this point on teaching students, supporting students, helping students to develop networks professionally and otherwise, advising. And then we have about 150 part-time or adjunct faculty who are people typically working in industry, who also like to spend part of their time at work teaching the next generation of doers and leaders in their fields. And so here's a great quote from Amanda Fennell, who works in cybersecurity, about her interest in teaching at SoPA, along with her pretty busy career. So that's the faculty. Next, we have a slide that just gives you an overview of our degree and certificate programs at the undergraduate level. We have webinars for each of these areas of study separate from the session that we're doing today. And if you filled out an inquiry on our website and you're getting information from us about a specific program, you'll automatically be notified about when those webinars happen. But we also have a calendar of them on our website, and we're happy to follow up with you. So those are the degree programs. Much of our instruction takes place online. So I said that we have classes in person on the Uptown campus and at Elmwood, but the majority is actually online. And we're really proud of the highly interactive learning experience that we offer at SoPA. So what that means is really small classes that are highly interactive, where typically you are doing most of the work on your own time and on your own schedule, but you're also meeting with your class a few times a semester. You might have student presentations during that time. You might have a guest speaker or a discussion. But in every single week of the course, there's something interactive where you are having a discussion with other students, for example, or getting or giving feedback on a project that you're working on. We also have faculty who are very excited about the metaverse. And so we have one image here from one of our business faculty who regularly incorporates the metaverse into her classes. But I think the point is that we are taking best possible advantage of what technology is offering us in terms of different ways of learning, different ways of communicating information, and bringing it to you as part of the class. And the second image down there about the downloading the podcast and taking it on the New Orleans streetcar is another great way to look at it. All right, next area that we always want to talk about with prospective students is what we call student support and success. And basically what that means is that you have dedicated staff here to support you, staff and faculty who will do whatever we can to make sure that you're successful academically and also that you're prepared for the next steps in your career. So every student has an assigned academic advisor who can give you advice about, how many classes to take, when to take them, how to balance your academic workload with anything else that you have going on in your life. And then sometimes what happens with our students, because they have lives outside of school, they typically have jobs, they often have families. Sometimes they have, something that might come up like a deployment after a disaster or for some kind of National Guard event. And your advisor, if something comes up, for example, like a hurricane, your advisor is going to be able to work with you to figure out how to navigate through the challenge, how to keep your coursework going, stay in school, keep momentum toward your degree, but also deal with everything else that you need to deal with. We also have an amazing dedicated career advisor at the school who will not only give you feedback on your resume and your LinkedIn profile, but if you're in this region or if you visit, go with you to a networking event and even advise you as you're going through an interview and job negotiation process. So that's our student support. We are a highly transfer-friendly institution. Most of our undergraduate students are coming in either with some amount of college credit from other places or with some significant like training post high school through the military or maybe certified as an emergency medical technician or some other kind of training experience that can be turned into credit toward the bachelor's degree. And here's a great image that shows sort of based on our tuition structure, what a transfer student might be able to qualify for in order to get discounts toward the full degree. And then last, I'm going to talk really quickly about what we call credit for prior learning before turning things over to Sheila. So like I said, most of our undergraduate students are coming in with other college credits that they can apply toward the bachelor's, but we also have a process called portfolio assessment, where students will document their life, work, or volunteer experience, match it up to specific courses in the major for which they're studying, and then turn it into a portfolio. You can get up to 24 credits. Faculty will grade your portfolio, and then you'll see you'll earn credits toward the bachelor's, but you'll also get out of taking courses that have content that actually might be things that you already know. So just again, one more way in which we are transfer student friendly and focused on helping our largely adult students who have significant experience coming into college to maximize the value of that toward their degrees. And with that, I'll hand things over to my colleague, Sheila Gold.
Thank you, Suri. So just sort of touching back on the last two slides, we really try to focus on making a Tulane SoPA degree affordable and accessible. At the same time, we still know that it's an investment in your education. So there's lots of different ways that we try to support students to pay for their SoPA education. First of all of our classes are 3 credit hours and we charge per credit hour. So our current fall tuition is $623 per credit hour, and then each class is 3 credit hours. We offer a multitude of different 20% tuition discounts. So they're listed on the screen, but they are for active duty military and veterans. If you're an alumnus of Tulane, if you have a degree from a minority serving institution like an HBCU, if you're active or retired safety personnel, fire person, EMS person, that sort of paramedic. If you're a member of PTK, Phi Theta Kappa, we offer a 20% discount towards our undergraduate and graduate programs. If you're a current K through 12 teacher, or if you are an Orleans Parish public servant, or if you're over 60 years old. So those are 20% tuition discount that we offer sort of overall. Keep in mind, there's also the transfer discount that we offer. And then many of our students, even with the discounts, still apply for financial aid. We do require the FAFSA, the federal form for financial aid. I always encourage all students to start that FAFSA process as soon as you start applying to the school. The FAFSA, if you've never filled it out, kind of has like multiple steps to it. So go ahead and start that process. It can take a few weeks. And then we offer other discounts such as our transfer discount and our early registration discount. A little bit about applying to the school. Our application process is electronic. So our application lives on our website. Just go to our website, Tulane, SoPA.tulane.edu. There's a big button at the top that says apply, and our application portal will open for you. You will be using the undergraduate application, and we try to make our application process as seamless as possible and as transparent as possible. We will need transcripts from any school from which you've received college credits, and we'll also need a copy of your driver's license, like a valid ID. It could be a passport also. Just take your phone, take a image and upload that. Other than that, our undergraduate application does not require too much additional information other than like address, phone number, those sorts of things. We do have a $40 application fee, but as a thank you for attending this webinar, that will be waived. If you have already applied and paid that $40 fee, please email me after that and I can waive it very easily. So I'd be happy to get that back to you. Important deadlines. Our next term that we are enrolling for is the fall term. The deadline for that application is just a few days away, but you would still have time to get your application in. The deadline is August 1st. The next term that we're enrolling for is our spring term in January. January 1 is that application deadline. And then if you want to apply for a full year from now for the summer term, May 1 is that deadline. You can see that underneath the deadlines, there are early enrollment scholarship deadlines. Those are deadlines that if you apply, are admitted, and register for classes by those deadlines, you'll receive $200 off your first semester's tuition. The deadline for fall has already passed, but if you're interested in applying from spring or summer, you have plenty of time to take advantage of those. Just another way we're trying to kind of help students, take off the financial load a little bit. So really, that is the end of sort of the nuts and bolts of our presentation. But I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Not everybody likes to speak on a webinar. So my contact information is at the bottom of the screen, sgold@tulane.edu. There is a phone number. Don't call me. I'm very rarely next to my phone. I am always in front of my computer, so I answer emails much, much more quickly. But if anybody does have a question, feel free to drop it in the chats. All right. Well, look, no worries. Like I said, do not feel like you have to sort of, speak in a group. Once again, sgold@tulane.edu is my email address. And, we appreciate you all taking some time out of your day today to hear about us. We are always excited to talk about our programs and talk to prospective students. So please reach out and ask me any questions and I'd be happy to answer those for you. So one last call. Anybody else have a question? All right. Well, thank you all again. You'll be receiving a follow-up email after this. You'll actually get a copy of this recorded webinar. So if you want to watch it again or send it to a friend, feel free to. You should be getting that tomorrow. And I certainly hope to be welcoming you all as students at Tulane very soon. Thank you very much for spending time with us, everyone.